Sigh.
Well, what's wrong, buddy?
Well, I just realized this mushroom supplement I bought isn't actually made with mushrooms. It's made with something called myceliated grain?
Myceliated grain?
Oh, no!
I'm sorry to tell you, buddy, but myceliated grain is a sure sign of a poor quality mushroom supplement.
Well, dang. I wanted mushrooms, not brown rice. What should I do?
Well, you should support a small batch producer from right here in the Midwest. Keweenaw Apothecary.
Keweenaw Apothecary, tell me more.
Keweenaw Apothecary specializes in high-quality mushroom extracts from Michigan, and they always use real mushrooms, never myceliated grain.
That sounds like exactly what I've been looking for. Where can I order?
Well, you can find them at keweenawapothecary.etsy.com. That's KEWEENAW apothecary.etsy.com. Be sure to read their many excellent reviews.
Thanks, buddy. I don't want no low-quality mushroom products from a factory. I want Keweenaw Apothecary.
Wowie wow! You're here on a super special episode of the Wild Edible World podcast. I am just one of your hosts today. My name is Michael. It's just me. Everybody reach out to Steve and his wonderful partner, Marissa, and give them a hearty congratulations on their first child. Cheers to them. And in lieu of Steve, we have Jon with us today. I don't remember your last name, Jon.
Miller.
Jon Miller from Bubblehouse Brewing.
Yes,
here in Lisle, Illinois. Thank you so much for coming on this nice little walk with me.
Yeah, so where are we again?
So this is a place called Hitchcock, and it's one of the smaller forest preserves of DuPage County. It's one of my favorite little stomping grounds to go to. It's got all sorts of little wonderful little plants and trees and fruits and berries and stuff like that, but mostly I wanted to have you around to chat about the Spruce Tip beer that we collaborated on. And just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, In Pursuit of Spruciness, as it is titled. That was pretty awesome. And as we walk these woods, and I just told you pre-show that we're probably about 500 feet from Bubblehouse. I'm not sure that this place ever existed, which is pretty awesome. I'll be coming back quite often. So spruce beer. Yeah, we brewed one last year with you. Mm-hmm. And that one was a little bit of a... Hey, I've got spruce tips. Have you ever wanted to use them in a beer? And I have always wanted to use them in a beer and never done that. So that was kind of a fortuitous last minute where I sort of pivoted a recipe and sort of altered it to include spruce tips. This year we actually got to go in from the ground up and kind of knowing that this was the beer and spruce tips were going to be kind of built around them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a really interesting approach to the flavor of the beer and the recipe in general. So it is a little bit different than last year, but... you tried to kind of model the hop flavor profile similarly, but it was a blend that you were given by Pink Boots, so it's kind of hard to...
Yeah, last year was completely a blend. They had the percentages out there if I wanted to hunt for them, but I also thought that hop combination I didn't feel was directly, tangent to spruce tips and the flavor they give off, so I didn't think it was quite as supportive and, what do I want to say... The word escapes me.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. Where it's like you needed a few better details in that back taste.
Yeah, accentuating complementary.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And the beer that we came out with this year is really delicious, really fun, super crushable. But yeah, it was such a pleasure to be able to meet up with other Bubblehouse Brewing members. So we kind of made it a member event, and we're able to go out to the Morton Arboretum.
Yeah.
And work with their research spruce fields where they're growing. They have a couple plots of monoculture.
Yeah, Norway spruce, big forestry plot that they have out there on, what is that? I think that's the west side, under 53.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool, and so great to have you there because, when we started talking about kind of the flavor of a great young spruce tip and the difference from tree to tree, tasting those at that time really allowed me to kind of lock in on, the hop combination that we used was Centennial and Chinook. but they were all, trying to stay more local. They were from Hophead Farms in Michigan. A lot of the stuff we use is often from the Yakima Valley out west. And a great thing about these Centennial Chinook is they normally present, citrus, but very piney, resiny sometimes. The Michigan variety were claimed to be a little bit more on the citrusy, fruity end. So I thought that was really great because it allowed the spruce tips to do more of the pine lifting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why you get some of that really great lemony brightness and pine character on the back end of that beer. Right, what we don't want to have happen is it turns into just a pine tree chew, ultra astringent and bitter.
Absolutely. And that can happen pretty fast, too. I mean, having tasted you can use spruce tips very similarly to hops. They are a bittering agent whenever they're heated up. But it's so cool that you were able to capture the lemony forwardness of the raw spruce tips, but then still include that kind of bitter, piney, resinous stuff that is desirable and you would want to look for in an IPA or an APA. With the right quantities.
Right, yeah, and so for this time around, we decided to use a little bit more than we did last time. Certainly helped by the fact that we had helpers at the Morton Arboretum. We had a large stand to pick from, and so we could come out with a better quantity. But we used them in two places in this recipe rather than just one.
Ooh, so originally it was just in the boil, so the hot part, right?
Right, the very end of the boil and during whirlpool as we're sort of cooling the beer down and separating out any large proteins and solids that fall out. So that was all hot side and it was a little bit less. So this time we split it up. We amped up the hot side a little bit, but then we also dry hopped. So infused the actual post-fermentation beer with some spruce tips as well. And again, I think that sort of allows for more rounded character in the spruce tips to come out.
Very cool.
So you get a little bit more of the overall quality that those oils can, impart to the beer.
Yeah.
So, trial and error a lot of times, but, we're always kind of slowly pushing the boundaries. And I don't mean that, we're doing crazy things, but from our own recipe development, we're looking for ways to increase, decrease things over time that will not be immediately alarming to the consumer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, little steps, but pushing, I like the way of thinking that, pushing the envelope, pushing the boundary. Do be careful on this trail here. There is quite a bit of poison ivy. I don't know how sensitive you are to it, but do be mindful.
Guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, so next up you have, let's talk about that experience with the Morton Arboretum. It was so cool to be able to go out there in the evening twilight. So it was right at about 5:30 or 6 o'clock. And what was that, May?
I think May 18th.
May 18th, yeah. So we were able to go out there and in the twilight of the setting sun and catching those lime green spruce tips on the ends of the spruce trees.
Yeah, that was so amazing. It was a perfect day for it.
Yeah.
Perfect cool breeze, sun going down. And great. April, my wife, my kids, some of our social club members were there. You and Laura, obviously. Just a really great setting to kind of talk about. Everyone's kind of tasting through these spruce tips and, really getting a understanding and maybe appreciation, right? They can be a little bit astringent and bitter as you gnaw on them fresh.
Sure.
But just so cool to see the subtle differences tree to tree, as I mentioned earlier, that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And just really grateful that the Morton Arboretum was willing to be a partner with us.
Mm-hmm.
We are, I think, 5-7 minutes away from them. So we've been wanting to do something with them for a very long time.
It was inevitable, yeah. And me too, honestly. I've been wanting to do something with them as well. I get a lot of people saying you should try to work there or something. And it's, hint, hint. Hey, drop me a line, Morton Arboretum.
Yeah, and I think we can get back there more, right? Obviously, their grounds are pretty expansive.
Oh, absolutely.
And, we've leaned in with them a lot.
So I just want to point something out to you real quick right here. These are ramp flowers that are going to seed. These are really immature little ramp seeds, little wild onion seeds. These are some of my coolest looking little things.
I love it.
Look like little atoms perched atop these stems. They're like little three ball things.
The keen eye of a forager. It's good to walk on. My brother used to have ramps that he would get from out in the farm. Ooh, yeah, very nice.
Very oniony.
oniony.
Yum.
Green onion.
Sigh.
Well, what's wrong, buddy?
Well, I just realized this mushroom supplement I bought isn't actually made with mushrooms. It's made with something called myceliated grain?
Myceliated grain?
Oh, no!
I'm sorry to tell you, buddy, but myceliated grain is a sure sign of a poor quality mushroom supplement.
Well, dang. I wanted mushrooms, not brown rice. What should I do?
Well, you should support a small batch producer from right here in the Midwest. Keweenaw Apothecary.
Keweenaw Apothecary? Tell me more.
Keweenaw Apothecary specializes in high-quality mushroom extracts from Michigan, and they always use real mushrooms, never myceliated grain.
That sounds like exactly what I've been looking for. Where can I order?
Well, you can find them at keweenawapothecary.etsy.com. That's KEWEENAW apothecary.etsy.com. Be sure to read their many excellent reviews.
Thanks, buddy. I don't want no low-quality mushroom products from a factory. I want Keweenaw Apothecary.
Wowie
wow!
Oh, hey, Steve.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Well, what's wrong, buddy?
Well, I just got this new water bottle, but it just looks so plain.
Well, have I got the store for you. Introducing the Wild Edible World Podcast Merch Store.
Wowie wow!
It's the merch store where you can get all of your favorite podcasts merch for all your decorating purposes.
How do I find that?
Go to wildedibleworldpod.shopify.com or go to any of our Instagram and media accounts and view the link in the bio.
Wowie wow!
So, yeah, your brother, is he the one with the farm?
He is the one with the farm up in Grays Lake, Prairie Wind Family Farm. So, yeah, my first introduction with ramps were he would often have them early in the year and pass out a choice selection. Yeah, I don't know. Are we done on the Morton Arboretum? I guess so, pretty much,
that's fine. That's good. Let's see. So tomorrow or today, you're receiving a bunch of elderflowers from that farm.
'Tis the season, as you know. So last year we did an American wheat ale with
the train. We really get some environmental features in here. I totally forgot about this.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a cool, soothing background sound that we can all appreciate.
I'm sure. We have some, check this out. This is almost ripe choke cherries. These are cherry trees right here.
Okay, yeah, I see some of them starting to pinken up.
Turn red. But, what were you saying?
So we did this American wheat with fresh elderflower last year because, again, aside from the Morton Arboretum, my brother is another person who, although he deals in mostly organic vegetables, so not a lot of crossover. You know, there are some things that they have on property as a cover crop or as, to promote the local ecosystem around their other vegetable crops that we can use. And so elderflower was one of the things that they've put up and had grown kind of on the outskirts of their property. And
that's a lot of train, huh?
That's a lot of train. We did that beer last year. Again, it was wildly popular, more so than I thought.
Yeah.
And now is the season that they are blossoming once again. So we're actually going to a family party, and he's going to hand them off to me so that
nice.
Coming up this week, we will brew another round of Living on a Prairie American wheat with elderflower.
That's awesome. That was one of my favorite beers you did last year. All right, finally the train is gone. In fact, we have some elderflowers right here. These are elderflowers in the raw. Wonderful little 5-petaled little flowers.
Very beautiful.
So delicate.
Very delicate. My brother showed me a picture that his wife took after he was out harvesting those flowers yesterday, and just had all these tiny little white, perfect star-shaped flowers with a little yellow center. Just a Yeah, a lovely. As we pass by one and they shower off
They're
in
just
a cascade.
trickling, yeah.
Very wonderful. So yeah, I'm excited to do that again. Anytime that I can partner with cool people that help me learn more about, the world around me. That's why I love talking with you and, the kind of influence that you're starting to have more and more on the brewery.
Aw, shucks.
Well, bringing in local wild stuff, alternative ingredients that aren't just the core four. At Bubblehouse, we don't get too crazy with milkshake strawberry IPAs and
right.
Some of these a little bit more ingredient intensive beers, but I do really love the delicate balance or wild flavors that can accentuate the flavors that hops are there to give you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like the farm your brother is running, where it has to be this balance of agriculture and also regenerative ground cover and stuff like that. And it's kind of the same way with beer. You want to have this nice balance of the stuff people expect, but, people love being surprised or experiencing new things. I mean, especially in the craft brewing industry, a lot of times people are going to craft breweries because they want something different. They don't want the same old, same old. If they wanted that, they'd be drinking Miller Lite at home or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're here for, right, is to present flavors in a way that are hopefully delicate enough to not overpower any one sense in your palate, but really, give you a kind of overarching, really depth of flavor is really cool for me to have, linkages between the hops, between, an ingredient like spruce tips or like elderflower. If you capture some of those floral characteristics versus some of those piney characteristics, there's a lot that can be done across the landscape that I think is really cool. And once again, just connecting people with like, yes, this is out there.
Yeah.
You could do this. It's in your backyard. It's in your neighbor's backyard. I'm going to eat one of these real quick.
Yeah. I'm standing, while John's talking, I've just been standing here, mouthfuls of black raspberries. It's a really nice little bush right here, right underneath a mulberry tree as well. So you got the two-prong effect. And we just passed by like so many gooseberries that I didn't even point out. So this is a cool little place.
Yeah, so we have a mulberry tree in my backyard, and it can be a wrath as it showers down overripe berries onto our patio deck and everywhere. And then when birds eat them, it becomes colorful as well.
Oh, yeah, all the way through.
But I've always wondered about, we have such a relationship with this mulberry tree, about trying to incorporate that in beer. I think the problem is the harvesting of enough quantity to actually put forward a beer that the characters will come out in.
So a good tip for that is just freezing them. Honestly, that's typically part of the fresh berry process, as I understand it in brewing, is that you kind of want to freeze them first, and it like breaks all the cell walls and helps it, ferment better.
100%. Yeah. So when we do our cranberry beer, my brother like flash freezes them before he delivers them. That helps to break that outer wall, and deliver a lot of the color and flavor out when we get them and put them in a hot side process. So.
And if you want to collect a bunch of them, there's the old tarp technique. You lay down a tarp under the tree, and then you get somebody to go ape man on the tree and like shake it all out.
I have thought about that many times. We've also asked my son to design a laser network that will zap them as they fall before they hit the ground.
A laser network.
Pending.
Here, try this. This is a grape tendril. So this is the vining form that comes off of grape leaves. Very bright, tart. I like to call them like shock tarts of the woods because they'll get like really sour really quick. And these were the ones I handed John were pure green. Normally they have a touch of red to them.
Yeah, I was going to say there's not a ton of tartness in this one. It is very bright and fresh.
But it's because we're under the canopy. So with a lot of ingredients, whenever you have more shade, they're going to be more mild in flavor. But full sunlight, these tendrils would have been a little bit red and probably would have been more punchy and sharp and more obvious, why I call them shock tarts of the woods. Look at the little mushrooms over there.
All around us.
All around us, there's life, y'all. So we've reached the end of this little walk here. I think we're pretty good. finish up the chat. It's been a wonderful, nice Saturday morning walk with you, and definitely want to recommend everybody, if you do imbibe, go and check out Bubblehouse in Lisle, Illinois. They're doing really cool stuff with their beer. Super good people, super nice family.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love you, man. And my wife does all the can art for them, so maybe I'm a little biased, but we have a great relationship with you, and can't wait to see where else it leads.
Yeah, absolutely.
Us. And
like I said, what's the next ingredient we put in, and for everybody else, the elderflower will be brewed in a week or so, and so it'll be out, and I would say towards the end of July. So come check that out and taste the flavor of nature.
Oh yeah, you heard it, folks. Taste the flavor of nature at Bubblehouse. Thanks for listening. Just remember that this is the show where you can find the best food for free. We love you out there, and we love Steve and Marissa too. So, bye. Real quick, Michael here from the future. Just because this was recorded a few months ago in July, then just so you know, this is being released in September, but both of these beers are still available, so go check them out. The Spruciness, In Search of Spruciness, made with, in collaboration with the podcast, and then the Elderflower that is made with their family farm. So go check them out.